also spread out over a wide area is the federal investigation, not just of the people who may have been directly involved in the hijackings and the tragedy on Tuesday, but those people who may have offered them assistance and safe haven. Mike Betcher in Atlanta has been working on that part of the story, and Mike joins us now. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Aaron. Well, they've issued a federal warrant for one man they want as a material witness, but he is not in custody. And a Justice Department spokesman, Mindy Tucker, said and indicated this is just the beginning. You're going to see a lot more of this, more people arrested and warrants issued as material witnesses in this crime. There is one man already arrested as a material witness. He was detained on Thursday when he was taken off a flight. He had a fake pilot's identification. He was actually charged on Friday as a material witness. And also there are 25 other people in detention by the INS, and the FBI is speaking to them. Some, we are told, are cooperating, so we should see a lot more actual arrests made coming very soon. Now, the FBI is also trying to learn as much as they can about the 19 known hijackers aboard those 4 aircraft, and they have developed a list of characteristics. Now, it's a common trait of characteristics, and if we can put that up, here are a few of them. The list is actually quite long and has a lot of different characteristics, but we've seen the FBI list, and of course there's the obvious. All of them are male, most in their early 20s, likely to have Saudi passports, likely to have visas issued in Saudi Arabia, clean-shaven, and Western appearance. But what we also have is the training manual of Al-Qaeda, the bin Laden organization. So if indeed this was a bin Laden operation, they would have followed this training manual. So let's take a look at these characteristics and go to the training manual and compare them. Now, if you look at the characteristics where they talk about likely to have Saudi passports and likely to have visas issued in Saudi Arabia, in the manual it says, the bin Laden manual, it says all documents of the undercover brother, such as identity card and passport, should be falsified. Now, in that list given by the FBI, they said most had Saudi passports, but judging by that, it's no guarantee that they actually are Saudi Arabian citizens or those are actually valid passports. Let's go back to the list. Let's look at the last one, clean-shaven, Western appearance. Okay, let's go to the bin Laden manual and see what they say about that. The photograph of the brother in these documents should be without a beard. So they're saying in the documents, let's say, for example, a false passport or a driver's license, they should be clean-shaven so they do not bring attention to themselves as perhaps being Muslim. And there is one other common characteristic, but it has nothing to do with personal characteristics. It has to do with targets. Let's go back to the bin Laden manual. And in that, there is a final you can see it on the bottom. It's number 7. It's hard to read. Here we go. It's coming up. This is in terms of picking targets. And this will send some chills up if you read this. Blasting and destroying the embassies and attacking vital economic centers. If this was indeed Al-Qaeda, they sure did follow that last part of the bin Laden training manual. Aaron?
Well, I agree. That's pretty chilling stuff. Just give me a sense, Michael, if today the investigation took small steps forward or a large step. Is there any sense that they moved as rapidly as they seemed to the previous days?
I think they're making large steps forward right now in terms of finding the people who they want to question, who may have more knowledge about this. I think that's the code that's being thrown out right now, Aaron, about these 25 in detention on immigration charges that they were here illegally. The FBI is not interviewing them because their visas have expired. They're interviewing them because they believe at least some of them know something or know someone who knows something about this case. And today, Mindy Tucker at the Justice Department clearly indicated you're going to see a lot more of these arrest warrants coming out.
And in that sense, going back to something Eileen was talking about, does the investigation seem to be broader than maybe we all first thought at the beginning. That is to say, more citizens of more countries around the world, both the investigation here and abroad.
No, as early as Wednesday, my sources in the intelligence community here and abroad were telling me of an intensive effort to go back over all of these past cases, and that the focus was on various terrorist groups, especially in North Africa, and especially Algerians and Egyptians. One particular group would be Al-Jihad, or Islamic Jihad. The leader of that is one of the top lieutenants of bin Laden. They're really looking closely at that. Eileen mentioned the 1983 Marine barracks bombing. One person they're looking at to see if he might have a connection to this is Imad Mughniyeh, who before this terrible terrorist act at the Pentagon and at the World Trade Center had killed more Americans than any other terrorist, but nobody knows his name. No one's seen him in 21 years. So they're broadening it out, and I am told that so many skills were required, so many people were needed, the expertise so great that it had to be an amalgamation of groups operating under the Al-Qaeda umbrella.
You know, Mike, thanks. Mike Betcher in Atlanta. We'll probably never know the answer to how this first began, who first had the idea, but we're going back 20 plus years. That's something.